Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, welcome to Larry's House of Hockey. I was curious about something. I was listening to, I was watching ESPN First Take the other day, and they were talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and whether or not you could consider them a dynasty. And it got me thinking, okay, what qualifies as a dynasty? Because they were saying, the Kansas City Chiefs, they went to, they've been to 6 straight AFC championship games. This is their 4th Super Bowl in 5 years. But they've only won 2 of them. They've won 2 of them. And they've got a chance to win back-to-back this time. Now, what do you consider? Now, what qualifies as a dynasty? Are the Kansas City Chiefs considered a dynasty because they've had the Super Bowl appearances? Is it the appearances that makes them a dynasty, or is it the titles? To me, it's the titles. It's the championships. Now, if they win the Super Bowl, this would be their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years. Does that count? Would that then count as a dynasty? Most of the time, people would consider 3 straight a dynasty, or 3 in 4 years a dynasty. 3 and 5, I don't know. But I wanted to kind of compare this to hockey. Now, we have some dynasties here on the board. Of course, we have Montreal. They had a couple of dynasties. Of course, 1956 to 1960, 5 straight Stanley Cups. Then 1966, 1968, and 1969. That's 3 Stanley Cups in 4 years. That to me, that's a dynasty. And then 1976 through 1979, another 4 straight Stanley Cups. So the Montreal Canadiens had 3 dynasties here. Three dynasties that would count as dynasties. Then, of course, we go to the New York Islanders. We went from 1 dynasty in Montreal, winning 4 straight here, to the New York Islanders, who then win 4 straight from 1980 to 1983. Now, they had 5 straight Stanley Cup appearances. They lost in 1984. Their quest to be the second team, only the second team, to win 5 straight cups, went up in smoke in 1984. And it went up in smoke thanks to this team, the Edmonton Oilers. So, we went from, this was the age of dynasties for sure. From 1970, basically, if you think about it, from 1976 to 1990, the league basically was owned by 3 teams: the Montreal Canadiens, the New York Islanders, and the Edmonton Oilers. Because the Edmonton Oilers here, they then win the Stanley Cup 1984 and 1985. They didn't win it in 86, but then they win it again in 87 and 88, so that's 2 back-to-backs, and then again in 1990. So that's 5 cups in 7 years. Dynasty. Now here comes the question. Here's the questionable part. The Chicago Blackhawks. Would this be considered a dynasty? They went to the finals 3 times. They won them 2010, 2013, and 2015. So that's 3 cups in 6 years. Is that considered a dynasty? To me, it's basically the same team. It's the same core. Basically, it's Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane. But what would you consider? Would 3-6 be considered a dynasty? To me, that's just outside of being a dynasty. And then we go to the Tampa Bay Lightning here, just the last couple of years. They won back-to-back Stanley Cups in 2020 and 2021, and they had a finals appearance in 2022. So, is it the appearances that makes you a dynasty, or is it the championships? Again, to me, I think it's the championships. Some people think it's the appearances. And they were making that point on First Take that the Kansas City Chiefs, because of their appearances, that they're a dynasty. Because they went to 6 straight AFC championship games, and this is their 4th Super Bowl in 5 years. Again, they've only won 2 of them. If they win it again this year, that would be 3-5. Again, is that considered a dynasty? To me, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not yet. If they were to not only win this year, but again win next year, then we're talking about a dynasty. Because then that would be 3 in a row, and they would be the first National Football League team to ever do that. It's one of those things that kind of had me thinking, and it had me thinking, I should do a video on that and ask the question, what qualifies as a dynasty? Which I think that's going to be the title of the video, is what exactly qualifies as a dynasty? Is it the appearances in the final, or in football, the Super Bowl, or is it the titles? Again, to me, it's the titles. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's the appearances? Like, would you consider the Chicago Blackhawks 3 Stanley Cups in 6 years? Would that be considered a dynasty? To me, I don't think so. Not quite. The Tampa Bay Lightning, do you consider that a dynasty? They went to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, and they won 2 of them. So, is that considered a dynasty because you won 2 of the 3? I don't know. I don't think that's quite a dynasty. Now, if Tampa Bay were to go to the finals again this year and win, that would be, what would that be? 3. That would be 3-5. If they were to win again, that would be 3 cups in 5 years for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Hypothetically, if they were to go to the finals again and win. Does 3-5 does winning 3 cups in 5 years constitute a dynasty? That would be their 4th Stanley Cup final appearance in 6 years. I don't know. It kind of makes one wonder. And again, I would love to know what you guys think. Do you guys consider a dynasty being the appearances in the championship game, or final, or is it the titles? Do you have to win the chip a certain amount of times to be considered a dynasty, or is it the appearances? And it was interesting seeing how they were talking about that, saying that yes, the Kansas City Chiefs are a dynasty because they've went to 6 straight AFC championship games, and since Patrick Mahomes has been there, they have not lost a game before the conference championship. So again, is it the appearances that makes you a dynasty, or is it the title? I'd love to know what you guys think, though, and I figured this would be, you know, a good little question, and I thought I would, you know, throw some of these up here and show, you know, the years they won and how many in that period of time. And again, the New York Islanders, you know, they had 4 straight Stanley Cups. They went to the final 5 years in a row. Now, the fact that they won 4 in a row, that's the dynasty. But again, is it the appearances or is it the titles? I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know your opinions in the comment section. Also, please like the video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. If you really enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button. That would also be greatly appreciated. And if you feel like sharing the video, if you really enjoyed the video and you know you'd like to share it amongst your friends or amongst the masses, go right ahead. That's fantastic. The fact that there are, you know, some people that actually share my stuff, I love that. That's cool. So go ahead and share as much as you want. Any video on the channel, if you feel like sharing it, go right ahead. Jersey unboxings, whatever. Go ahead and do that. And again, let me know. Dynasties. Championship game appearances or the titles. Let me know what you guys think. Again, hit like and subscribe. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. And I'll see y'all later.